Most High Christ. Oh, let me check the sound real quick. All right, Most High Christ. I'm Officer 1000 Zarak Yahawada at the Israelite School University of Practical Knowledge in Detroit, Michigan. We here today. We're going to go ahead and tap into the Lashawan-Qadash class today. So we're going to start off with something very simple and easy. We're going to start with the Hebrew alphabet, all right? Just going to write it out in the ancient first. Okay. All right, so Most High Christ. All right. Get over here. Just wrote out the Hebrew alphabet in the ancient. You got Abba, God, Daha, Waza, Kata, Yaka, Lama, Nasa, Apa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. All right. That's just written out in the Hebrew. I'm trying to adjust this camera so and see it a little bit better. That right there is just so you can see it a lot more better. Clear it out to make it look a lot more visual. Okay. I'm the only brother here today, so what I'm gonna do is just teach as I go. You know, we're gonna go ahead and get this rocking and rolling today, all right? Okay, so today, what our lesson is gonna be, we're gonna learn, today we're gonna go over nations, okay? Now you got many nations that's in the Bible, all right? And also, you have nations, even that's not even a part of the 12 tribes. We still gonna go over these nations. We're gonna read them out. And we also gonna learn about these other nations in the Hebrew. Okay? There's 18 nations in the Bible. 18 nations. Okay? So what we're gonna do, we just gonna go over these words. We're gonna go over them in the English, and then we're gonna translate them all the way into the Hebrew, all right? So the first word I wanna start with is India, right? India. All right. India is in modern terms for today. You know, today they're called, India. But in the Bible, in the biblical times, they are actually Elam. So I'm gonna write that out. That's their biblical appointed name, according to the scriptures that's in the Bible. Okay? Just like how you had the 12 tribes of Israel, you got Judah, Benjamin, Levi, but in modern terms, so you can get a better understanding in the English, right? That is, Judah, Benjamin, Levi is the so-called Negro, okay? So-called West Indian, a Jamaican. Okay, you got Benjamin is the so-called West Indians, the Jamaicans. And then also you have the Levites, which are in modern terms, that they are the Haitians, or what you call a Haitian, so you can get a better understand, of where we're coming from. And this is coming straight out of the Bible. This is straight out the Bible, all right? So we're going to the nation. I want to start with this word, India. Okay, root word, Elam. And then in the Hebrew, it's spelled I-Walam. Ayalam. Okay, Ayalam. All right, and so if I wanted to write this out in English, Ayalam, it will look more so like this. Ayalam. That's the pronunciation of Elam in the Hebrew. Ayalam. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna write it out in the Hebrew. Okay. So we'll start like this. It would be I. This is an I in the Hebrew. We got I. And then for a Y, instead of using a Y, we're going to use Yah. It's just like a Hebrew Y. Okay. And then you get Lam, La, Lam, La, right there. And then Ma. So you want to use the Ma at the end of that, which would be this pronunciation right here. Okay. Now, as you can see, to connect these, now it just will look like Ayalama. Ayalama. But this is singular. Okay. That's singular. This is singular. So the I, you got the I, that's a singular. You got the Ya, that's a singular. So I, Ya. And then when you want to connect the Lam, you put the connectors at the bottom. Because if you keep this singular, it'd be Aya Lama. Aya Lama, if it was just all singular. This abbreviates it being singular. Now make it to come together. You want to put the connector like this. So you connect these two together and you get I, Ya, Lam. Instead of A, Lama, you'll get I, Ya, Lam, because you connected the L and you connected the M in the Hebrew, which make it I, Ya, Lam. Okay? All right. Moving on. And also, we got any viewers out here? Slacky. Give me 1 second. Let's get into the page. No, so if we got any viewers out there on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and chime in anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like and subscribe to the ISUPK Detroit page. Okay? We're going to go ahead and keep it moving. Now, the next word I want to get to is Assyria. Okay? Assyria. Let me write that down. Okay, Assyria. Now, Assyria, this will give you a little background on it. You know, the northern kingdom, that was in captivity under the Assyrians, man. Under Assyria. At a point of time, I believe. I don't want to just put any info out there. I'm going to definitely get more clarification on that. But Assyria is where the children of Israel were captive in at a point in time, okay, you can find that in many, all throughout the Bible, you know, the Assyrian captivity that we went into. Okay, so this is Assyria. All right. Now they're called Ashur. Ashur in the Bible, okay? In the Bible, they're called Ashur. Now in modern times, they're the Assyrians. But in today's time, back in the biblical times, they'll be called Assyria. Ashur. So how to spell that would be like this. Ashur. Let me know if y'all guys can see that clearly and thoroughly. I know I got some messed up handwriting. Salakia. You know, but this is Ashur. Okay? Now that's how you pronounce it in the Hebrew. Ashur. Okay. And then also you got the pronunciation in the Hebrew is I. I'll start like that. A H S H A Ashawar. Ashawar. It's very important to learn about Ashur, okay? Because even in our Psalms 83 prayer that we say all the time, right? We say Ashur also is joined with them, meaning they played in that council of Nicaea. They played in a part of, you know, destroying the children of Israel, you know, and things of that nature, right? So we got Ashur. Ashawar in the Hebrew. That's the pronunciation in the English. This is just a English abbreviation of how to say it in the Hebrew. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and get it in the Hebrew. So we're going to start. Ashawar. So we want to take the A, all right? So we're going to say Ah. That's single. Then we're going to say Shah. Now what's the Shah? The Shah will look like this. Shah. Look like a W, right? But in the Hebrew, we understand, in the Hebrew, this is Shah. You know, in the English, you would say that was a Y, because it looked like a W. But when we're doing in the Hebrew, especially in the ancient Hebrew, we call that the Shah. So Shah. And then we're going to go with Y. Now what's a Y sound? A Y sound will look, you have to put the letter Y. That would be the letter Y. That symbolizes Y in the Hebrew. Okay? Then also you got to put the R. It looked like a number 4 in the English, but in the ancient Hebrew, this is a R. Now this is how we're going to do this. I, singular. Shah, singular. Y. And R, these where you connect these two. So it say I, Shah, war. See, if you leave these, Salakia. Now, if you was just to leave them singular, it'd be Asha Wa'ar. Asha Wa'ar. Right? Wouldn't even sound right. It wouldn't sound right until you take the Y, connect it with the Ra, and you make roar. Asha war. Okay. Moving on. Okay. All right. So now we're going to be moving to Syria. Okay? Syria. This is the third nation we're going to go to. Syria. Okay, so now we got Syria. Now that's in modern times how that would be sounded. Syria. Right? Let's see, we're gonna have to get some more markers. Let me see. I like the green better. Okay. So now we got Syria. Right? Biblical name of Syria would be Aram. Ra. Okay? Let me see if y'all can see that real good. Could. Just kind of zoom in on that right there. Aram. Now that's the biblical name of Syria, right? Now we're gonna go to it we're gonna give the Hebrew abbreviation in the English. Okay, the Hebrew abbreviation of Aram will look like this. I could, let me see. It's spelled more so like this. Give it A-H. Aram. That's how it would look in the English abbreviation for Hebrew, because that's how you pronounce it in the Hebrew. Aram. Right? Now we're going to get it in the Hebrew, the fun part. Okay, so right? We take that letter in the Hebrew alphabet, and we write out Ra. Okay, so now, what do we put next? We put the Ra, which is this right here. Now, what else comes next? This has got to be easy. The Ma. You write it down just like that. Aram. Now, if you just leave it like this, it just look like Arama. So how do we make it Iram? What we do is we take the connectors right here, and we connect the Ra with the Ma, which make Rum. And you leave this singular. And while you leave that singular, it's saying Rum. Okay? Moving on. Okay. So now we're going to move on. We're going to go to Ishmael. Okay. I said Ishmael, the Arabs. Salaki. Now we're going to go to the Arabs. That's what you call them in modern times right now. They'll be referred to as an Arab. You know, for those who's tuning in, don't know anything about the Hebrew, you have to get the translations. This is the Arabs. Everyone knows, you know, in modern times about Arabs in today's time. Okay? But biblically, their biblical name in the Bible is Ishmael. Okay? That's their biblical name, Ishmael. All right? Now, that's their name in the biblical times. Now, in the Hebrew, how you say Ishmael, it will be pronounced Yashamallah. Okay, so Ishmael, in the Hebrew abbreviation in English, it would be, let's see, it'd be Yah. Yashemai Allah. So you got the Arabs, okay? In biblical times, they'd be called Ishmael. In the Hebrew, it'd be called Yashema'ala. Yeah, Yashema'ala. They be called Yashema'ala, right? Salaki. Okay, now we're going to get it in the Hebrew. In the whole ancient Hebrew, we're going to go Yah. All right? Yah. I'm going to spell that out like that. Yah. Then Shah, which is be the W shaped, okay? Because that represents the Shah in the Hebrew. Then Ma. So you're going to have the Ma, right? So Yah Shema. And then you got the I right there. So you want to make it I. You want to put the O represents I in the Hebrew. So Yashemai. And you want to put these two as a connector. Yashemai. Okay? These are still singular. You want to put Yashemai. Now I. When you go to the I, you put the I, which is a sideways A. Okay? In modern times, in the English, you'll call it a sideways A. In the Hebrew, that's just I. Okay? and then La, which will be the L. So you got Yah Shammai Allah, because these are singular. These are left singular. You put your connectors where it needs to be. So you have Yah Shammai Allah. Okay? All right, moving on. I gave you some time to write that down. If you're tuning in, that'd be enough time to write that down and get that info, all right? Moving on. Okay, I'd like to get into some good ones. Okay, I want to get into some that, everyone is familiar with. Okay, I know everybody is familiar with, the Chinese in today's time, okay? So let's do that word. Let's do Chinese, okay? All right. Okay, so we're going to do this word, Chinese, right? Now, everyone is familiar with the Chinese people. Okay, those are the people who, eat everything. Eat bats. And they be eating squids and rats. And you see all the nasty stuff that these people do, right? You know what I'm saying? You can thank them for the coronavirus. Yep. You can go right ahead and thank them for that. Okay, so you got the Chinese. But their biblical name in the Bible, okay, they are identified as Moab. Moab. Okay, this is who these people identify as, is Moab. I know I got some nasty handwriting, but let me try to straighten it up for you. Moab. See if you can get that clear. Close that door. See it much more better. Actually, erase all this. So there you have it. You got Moab, okay? You ever run into the scriptures and you ever hear this word Moab? Now you know and understand that this is talking about the Chinese. Okay? This is the Chinese in the biblical knowledge, in the biblical sense, okay? This is their name that's in the Bible, that's recorded in the scripture. Now, I'm going to give y'all the English abbreviation of Moab, okay? Okay. So now you got Moab, Mawa'aba. That's how you would pronounce that in the Hebrew. Mawa'aba. Okay. See if y'all can see that real good. Mawa'aba. All right. Now we're gonna write it in the Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew. Okay. So you're gonna take the ma, and remember, when you're writing in the Hebrew language, you're going from right to left. Okay. Instead of going from left to right, you'll be going from right to left. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get that. So ma. Wa. Ah. And ba, which would be okay. Now all these, there's something you're gonna realize about these. All right. So you see the pronunciation of it. This is what you should notice. One key point you should notice with the Hebrew when dealing with saying Moab or Mawa'aba, ma singular, wa singular, ah singular, ba singular. Okay, you don't have to connect any of these words, okay, because they have a singular saying. Ma, wa, ah, ba. Okay? I'm gonna give y'all some time to, copy that down. If you're tuning in, okay, we learning our ancient Hebrew tonight, which is glorious. We here in the Detroit camp, 12355 Gratiot. If you are in Detroit, man, you need to be up in this Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Again, 12355 Gratiot. That is our address, all right? So I'm going to give you a moment to go ahead and copy that down, okay? All right, that should be enough time to get all that info. If you didn't get it, go ahead and tune in and subscribe to the UPK page. The ISUPK Detroit page. And you just rewatch it again. Okay? Next. All right, we're going to go ahead and let's get the Ethiopians. Okay? Ethiopians, Africans, right? Let's get the Ethiopians. Let me spell that out real quick. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start on the Ethiopians. Okay. Everybody in the earth, I will assume that you are familiar with the Ethiopians. Okay? They are Africans who dwell in Africa. All right? Moreover, they dwell in Ethiopia. Okay? But in the scriptures, they have another name. You're not going to just find more so Ethiopians. There are many scriptures that say Ethiopian, okay? But at a point in time, especially like in the biblical times of Moses, around that time, it was called, the Cush, the Ethiopians. Ain't no sweat, Salaki, that's my bad. But biblical name of Ethiopia more so would be Cush, a Cushite, or Ethiopian. That name really never changed in the scripture. They still name, as an Ethiopian. Okay. All right, moving on. Now, I'm going to give you now the abbreviation, the English abbreviation of how it's pronounced in the Hebrew. Okay? How it's pronounced in the Hebrew. Kawash. Okay? That's how their names is pronounced in the Hebrew language. Kawash. I just abbreviated it in the English so you can get the abbreviation or the pronunciation, more so, of how it's said in the Hebrew. I just put it in English translation. Now we're going to get it in the Hebrew. Okay? We're going to get the ka. The Y, and a Sha. Now, this is the K in the Hebrew, the pronunciation, right? And then you got the Y, which look like a Y. You know what I'm saying? A little bit similar to a Y, but it's called Y in the Hebrew because that's the pronunciation of it. And then this is Sha, okay? Sha. It look like a W in the English, but in the Hebrew, this is pronounced Sha, okay? That's how you identify that. Put that camera a little bit more so over there so you can see that. Okay? Now, we're going to do what's going to be singular, what's going to be put together. Now, as you can see right here, the ka is definitely going to be singular because it's by itself. Ka. Then you got wa and sha. So if we kept all of these singular, this would be ka, wa, and sha. So you know what we got to do. We got to go ahead and bring those two together right here. And when we bring those two together, you get kawash in the Hebrew language. And in Hebrew translation, this is the understanding of kawash. All right? I'll give you some time to copy that. We got the young soldier tuning in, Kivian Young. Big shout out to you, Ak. You know what I'm saying? Get that Hebrew in your system, Hebrew. Most High in Christ. All right, shall we move on? Let's keep it moving. All right, so our next word, right, is, I should have did this one first. I don't know, what was I thinking? But you know which one I'm referring to, and that's the one and only. Israel. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah. I don't know what was I thinking, man. I should have put this one absolutely first, man. Israel. Okay? For today's viewers, if you're unfamiliar with what we're doing, we going into the translations and we actually practicing our Hebrew. This is the Hebrew class. Okay? The Lashawan-Qadash. Okay? Which means the holy tongue, all right? Now, Israel, modern times of Israel. Okay? Now, if you haven't been paying attention to the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, you're going to think that Israel is talking about, that land over there, with them, them fake Jews, the so-called Jewish man. You'll think that's what this talking about if you ain't tuned in and educated yourself with the biblical knowledge that you need instructed in the ISUPK, okay? But Israel symbolizes the 12 tribes of Israel, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, in today's time, okay? Which is your Negroes, your Jamaicans, your Haitians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, okay? Mexicans, okay? Colombians, Brazilians, South Americans, okay? And so on and so forth. All of the 12 tribes, man, this is what symbolizes Israel. This is the Lord's possession, okay? This is the Lord's possession right here. This is the Lord's people. Now, all these nations that I was just naming, the Lord ain't even dealing with them, okay? But that's for another subject, all right? And I'm just so geek, you know what I'm saying? It's so geek, to even write down Israel, all right? So we're going to go into Israel. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. Okay, we're going to give y'all that English abbreviation. Yasha Allah, how you pronounce it. Let me see. Yasha Allah. Okay? Slakia. I got this with that wrong. So, yeah. There we go. Yasha Allah. That's the English pronunciation of Israel. And in Hebrew, okay? Yasha Allah. That's how you pronounce that in Hebrew. Yasha Allah. Okay? So let's go ahead and get up into that. All right? So we're going to go Yah. Then we're going to go Shah. Then the Ra. then the ah, then the la, of course. So now, right, we got ya, sha, ra. So you know that the sha and the ra, this is singular. That ya, you leave that out right there. So the sha and the ra, those are the two that you connect. You connect these two right at the bottom. So you get ya, shar, and then these two is ah, which is singular, and then la, which is singular. So now you get ya, shar, Allah. Ya, shar, Allah. In the Hebrew. All right? I'm going to give y'all some time to go ahead. Jot that down real quick. I always give about 20 seconds to, copy this down real quick, all right? Sister Shemayim joined in on YouTube. We got Dorothy Davis also on YouTube. My sister, Shalom Yahweh, Shemala Thaba, Shem Yahweh, shout out to the sisters. We got Jay, Shalom, Shalom, brother, all right? Shalom. All right. We're going to go ahead and keep it moving and get it popping, all right? Okay. So the next one, right? Let's see what I want to get. Let's get this one. Okay. So if you can't see my handwriting, because I don't have the best of handwriting, Salakia. So let's get into this, y'all. Let's get into the Caucasians, or so-called white people. Okay? Now everybody is familiar with the Caucasian man, so-called white man, right? Ruling the earth, you know what I'm saying? His economy is collapsing due to the coronavirus. He's losing a lot of money, in a lot of entertainment areas. The music industry losing, a ton of money. You got the airlines right now losing a ton of money. You got, the basketball arenas right now losing a ton of money. You got the football arenas right now losing a ton of money. You got clubs, bars, everything associated with the Caucasians. they are on a downfall. Okay? Babylon is falling. Okay, this is America, so-called Babylon, and it is falling. All right, I just wanted to give y'all, a clear background of who we about to go in on next. This is a so-called white man, He put, black people, of course, brought us over here in slave ships and enslaved us, beat our backs and robbed us and raped us and done everything and still keep us in slavery still to this day, right? This is what you identify as the so-called white man, okay, who's living in this heaven right now. Well, his heaven is collapsing, of course, but we gave the pure identification of the so-called white man, all right? Now, in the Bible, this nation, the nationality, is called Esau, okay? Or Edom. Okay? When you ever hear about Esau or Edom or Idumea, let me put that over there, put the camera over there so y'all can see that. Get clear on that, right? But every single time you see Esau in the Bible or Edom, if you ever have a Bible concordance and you type in Esau or you type in Edom, it's going to give you a number of scriptures, a ton of scriptures, you know what I'm saying, about Esau and Edom. Okay? And one of them scriptures, you're going to see that the Lord hate Esau. Okay, that literally is in the scripture. All right? Just giving y'all a little background. Things you'll see to identify, Esau, Edom. I don't want y'all being confused or confounded because that's the so-called white man today. All right? So, you got Esau or Edom, right? Now, we're going to give y'all the English pronunciation of Esau or Edom in the Hebrew, which is spelled like this. So you got Edom, right? Which is Adawam. That's how you pronounce it in the Hebrew. Just giving you an English pronunciation of how to pronounce Edom in Hebrew, Adawam. Let's go ahead and let's get to it. All right? Okay, so you got Da, and Wam, right? Let's start and make sure we put our connectors where it need to be connected and our singles where also it need to be separated. So you got right? Singular. Da, singular. And then Ma. Those two get joined together. It will make Adawam sound perfect in that Adawam. Now, if you leave that out, you're going to sound silly. You're going to be saying Adawama. All right? That's not what it's pronounced as. It's pronounced Adawam. Okay? So you got Da. You connect these two, you make Wam. See, when you connect a Y and a Ma, it connects to one word. Okay? All right? I'm going to give y'all some time to go ahead and copy that. All right, we're going to go ahead and keep it moving. I'm going to go ahead and erase this and get on with the next word, all right? Okay. So I got, a pretty interesting one. Just lock you. I got a pretty interesting one we can do. Okay. Let's see, which one would I want to get? Let's get German. Okay. Let's get that right there. German. Let me write that down. Okay, so German. All right. Everyone is familiar with Germany. All right. Everybody is familiar with the Germans. Okay. In America, everyone knows who the Germans are. Things of that nature. That's where a lot of Nazis come from. Things of that nature. Okay. Now we're going to go in on the Germans. Their biblical names, instead of it being German, it'd be Ashkenaz. Okay? Ashkenaz. Let me write that down for you. Ashkenaz. Okay, so now you got Ashkenaz. If you can see that, all right? Ashkenaz. Those people, if you type in your Bible coordinates and you see Ashkenaz pop up in any scriptures in the Bible, this is identifying the modern time Germans. The Germans, okay? That nationality, the Germans, the race of the Germans, all right? Now let me go ahead and give you the English, the English pronunciation of how to say this in the Hebrew. Ashkenaz. 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 Okay? Ashkenaz. All right? Now let's go ahead and get it in the Hebrew. We're going to start with the I, right? We're going to start with the I. So we're going to get that. I. Then Shah, which is the W. It looks like a W, right? It looks like a W. But it's Shah pronounced in the Hebrew. So we got Shah. Then Ka, right? So let's get the Ka. So now we got the Ka, and we're going to get the Na. Now we got the Na, let's get the Za in the Hebrew. Okay? So now you got Sha, Ka, Na, and Za. You got A, Sha, Ka, Na, and Za. Now, to make this make sense, right? And to make this sound like Ashkenaz, now we have to use singles and connectors. So let's go ahead and get those singles and connectors. Now, so like you got A, Sha, Ka, Na, and Za, right? So you want to connect A and Sha, which will make Ash. Okay? Ash. When you connect the A, then you connect the Sha. When you connect the I and the Sha, it makes Ash. Okay? And then you got the Ka. You leave that single. Then you got the Na and the Za. You got the Na and the Za. To make it sense, to make it make sense and make it say Ashkenaz, you don't want to make it say Ash, Ka, Na, and Za. So you want to connect these two at the end. Right here. So now you have Ashkenaz in the Hebrew. Okay? I'll give y'all some time to copy that down, all right? All right, I hope everybody had a chance to copy that down. All right. Now we're moving on. Okay, so moving on. We got the Russians. Okay, Russians. Okay, everybody is familiar with Russia, right? Everybody is familiar with that in America, I assume, with Russia, which is, down through the years used to be, America's ally, the Russians, right? Now that you know what we're talking about, let's get them in a biblical term, okay? Their biblical names in the Bible would be, they'd be identified as Magog, okay? Magog. This is who they identify as in the Bible. Okay? If you put this in your concordance, you've got a Bible concordance, you type in Magog, this identify, and this is match up with the Russians today, okay? Now let's go ahead and keep it moving. Okay? So, we got Magog. Let's give you the Hebrew pronunciation in the English of Magog. So we're going to go. So, you got, this would be the Hebrew pronunciation in the English of Magog or Russia in the Hebrew. Magawag. Magawag. I don't know if y'all can see that. But Magawag, right? All right, let's do the fun part. Let's get it in the Hebrew. All right? So we're going to start with the Ma. Okay? And then the Ga. And then the Wa. Then the Ga again. So now you have Ma. This symbolizes Ma in the Hebrew. This symbolizes the Ma in the Hebrew. This symbolizes the Ga, which is G-A. Okay, G-A. So Ma, Ga. And this symbolizes Y in the Hebrew, which is the W-A, Y. That's the pronunciation of it. So Ma, Y, Ma, Ga, Y, and Ga again. Now the pronunciation is Magawag. Okay, how can we turn this into Magawag? We have to do it like this. We have to use connectors in our singles. Okay? So let's go ahead and get it started. The Ma is going to be singular. And the Ga, singular. So Ma is by itself. Ga is by itself. The Y and the Ga. So how do we make that say Wag? You get that by connecting the Y and the Ga, which give you Wag. Okay? So now you got Ma, Wa, Gag. It's like Ma, Wa, it's like Ma, Ga, Wag. Okay? Give y'all some time to copy that down. All right. So let's go ahead and get this erased. We're going to get our last word today. All right, this is going to be our last one. We're going to close the class out. Okay? Next one is going to be the French. Okay? We know the French, okay? The people from Paris, you know, Bonjour, Vagnon. They speak all the French language, right? Okay? In the Bible, they're biblically known as Gomorrah. Gomorrah. Okay? Or Gomer. So let me write that down for y'all, all right? Gomorrah. Okay? When you type this into your Bible concordance, and you see that pop up, those are the people that match up in modern times as the French. They identify with the French, okay? So now, moving on, let's get the Hebrew pronunciation in the English of French, or Gomorrah, which would be Gomar. Okay? Gomar. Now let's get to the fun part. Let's get it in the Hebrew. God. And then the Ma, right? And then the R. So now, to make this sound like Gamar, we have to use our connectors and our singles. Let's get it started, shall we? All right. So we got God, which is single. Why is it single? Because it's by itself. Okay? Then you got the Ma and the Ra. So if it's just Gamara, it wouldn't give you the right pronunciation for Gamar. Okay? So the only way to do that, you take the Ma and the Ra and you connect the two, which makes Mar. Mar. Take that, connect it with that. Take those two, you connect it with each other, and that gives you Gamar, which is the right pronunciation of the French, okay? In the Hebrew. This Officer Zarak, 1000, Detroit, Israelite School, University of Practical Knowledge out of Detroit, okay? Make sure you get in class. Make sure you get into these classes in school, all right? Shalom.